Hello, this is Sierra and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another Corgi and the Cat video. It's another short story. This one's a little different because I have an idea for something, but it's more like a, you could say, teaser, tester, see whether or not you guys want to see more. There doesn't have to be more if people don't want to see it, but I wrote it in a way that there could be more if people wanted to see what would happen next and what might be around. And yeah, if you do notice anything subtly hinted at, yeah, I do make some subtle hints in there and all that. This is going to be another story in the outlandish lore I've written. Fan fiction. But yeah, let's get right into it, right? Yeah. Basically, Corgi and the Cat, strange and unusual, as you can see from the title, by myself. And yeah, this is another story that may or may not branch out. The animals don't have a huge part in the story, unfortunately, because, yeah, we don't need them that much. Anyway, let's get into the video. Shall we? Stampy was once again in his office after a long, quiet start to the day, having loaded up Minecraft and doing some terrain in his lovely world. He had plans for future builds in the back of his mind, as he calmly worked placing blocks as he thought about the dimensions of the future build that would later reside there. It was important after all. If something was too big, it could cause issues with the path and other builds. If it was small, he could work at it, but he wanted to make sure it was the perfect size for what he needed it to be. He was the only one in his world at the time, which he was okay with. After all, not seeing him to target or Viva on the member screen was always a huge relief. As he continued working, he heard the sound of his office door open as he looked up to see Squishy walking in with what appeared to be a cup of steaming hot tea. "You made tea?" the young man asked her in surprise, as he noted a brief glimpse of a fluffy black and brown tail slip through the door. Ori, his cat, wasn't really allowed in his office because she liked to chew on the cables, which wasn't very ideal when it came to streaming or recording videos. He would have to keep an eye on her. "Of course I did," Squishy said with a smile. "What are you working on?" "Oh, just some terrain for something coming up," he said simply, glancing back towards the screen as he turned his Minecraft character, a fidget skin, otherwise known as an orange cat to most of his fans. He was now glancing off towards a small cluster of trees in the distance, the cat spotting a few of lily-of-the-valleys spotted around in the area. It looked to be that he was able to get some new flowers in his world now, which was good for variety and creativity. "All right," Corgi said with a nod as he began to hear her footsteps fading away before they stopped. "Do you know what that is there near the edge of your screen?" "What do you mean?" Stampy asked, looking over at her quizzically. She went over to the television and pointed at what appeared to be a figure that he hadn't noticed before. They seemed to be fading into the shadows, but the man could determine the form of a man. But he looked like he'd been in. He wasn't a player, so to speak. He wasn't using a character, nor did Stampy think it was an NPC. Something different. "I'm not sure what that is, but it's probably nothing," he said briskly, as he turned the camera away from the woods. Squishy agreed quietly as she wished him good luck and to call her if he needed anything. He said he would. When she was gone, he swerved the camera back to the woods, squinting to try to see if the figure was still there. It was gone. Whatever it was, had disappeared completely. He shook his head, disbelief, trying to figure whether or not he'd only imagined it. But the way she had seen it too. It had to be real. But what exactly was it? And what was it doing in his Minecraft world? He spent the next half hour working on the terrain, partially distracted by the uneasiness of whatever it was that he had seen. Should he be concerned? Should he ask someone? It probably was nothing. After all, what could possibly go wrong? As he flew around in creative mode, something he only did off camera unless he was doing a behind the scenes video, he started to have an ominous feeling being watched. He glanced over at his camera. Both of them. They weren't on, at least. Something about the feeling seemed off as he placed a few more blocks. Suddenly, his character fell from the sky and hit the ground, taking damage as he jolted in surprise. What had just happened? He went to check his game mode, and, sure enough, he was in survival mode. But how could that have happened? The only possible way was if someone with operator was in the world and turned his game mode manually to survival. But he didn't see the command for it. He didn't see anyone else on the game. Something wasn't quite right. Maybe he should check it to see if anyone else was having similar issues. He shook his head again, deciding against it as he changed his game mode back to as he continued on. Not only 5 minutes later did it happen again. However, when he tried to alter it, the action was blocked. He was stuck on default. Had he lost permissions again? The last time was only to entertain his fans. He hadn't actually been hacked. Though there was that time when he had started got into his live stream. It was ages ago. He couldn't have any part of this. Could he? Brushing that thought away, Stampy went onto his second computer and quickly looked up whether or not anyone was having problems like this. No one. He came up with nothing. He even messaged quickly on his Discord. Still nothing. This was strange. This wasn't normal. Debating whether or not he should leave the game and try to fix anything there, he suddenly heard what sounded to be a grainy whine. At first it was quiet and subtle, completely unnoticeable. Then it grew louder, more intense, and it made him want to shut down his television and do something else. But before he could do any of that, something lunged toward him on the screen, face rounded, eyes piercing with rage, dark gray and menacing. The mouth opened into a haunted holler as he tried to back his character away as he yelled in surprise when the screen went black, snapping off completely as he stared at it in shock. What had just happened? A soft meow came over from under his chair as he felt a fluffy tail brush against his legs as the young man was taken out of his daze as he reached down to pet Ori. She didn't seem all that fazed about what had happened. She had had been nowhere near the cable, so the tempting thought that she'd done something flew out in the other side of his mind without question. After he was able to calm down from the shock of the jump scare, he turned back on his television, only to be faced with a grainy and fuzzy screen. All he could see were strains and strains of coded data he didn't understand. His world nothing more than a blur as he tried to find a way to exit it. It had been corrupted. He knew, how was that possible? Suddenly, the whole game simply crashed. Right in front of him as he stared at the home screen. He had no words. Something weird was going on. He went to try to open the game again, only to notice a new notification he hadn't noticed before. All it showed was the face of a man that looked eerily familiar, and yet he couldn't be sure why. He looked to be in his mid to late 30s, with dark hair and dark gray eyes. His well-defined, broad shoulders were donned in what appeared to be a dark suit of some kind. Eyes bore into him as an unsettling feeling creeped over him. Who was this man, and what was he doing in the lovely world? Just standing on his balcony with his blocky shapes and bright color, standing out like a sore thumb, boasting about something Stampy didn't understand, until he noticed a man leaning ever so closer towards him, beckoning him with one single finger. Then, suddenly, everything went black. A screech filled his ears. Sounds of a dog faintly barking. In the background, nothingness. Rosie's barking in the background. Stampy woke up groggily, finding himself in what appeared to be a great grassy meadow surrounded halfway around with trees. Before him, you could see a lovely world, safe and sound, not corrupted in any way, as if nothing had ever happened. He blinked before stopping himself in his own thoughts. Did he really just blink? He knew some character in Minecraft could blink, but they were never physically doing it. Was he even in Minecraft right now? What an illusion. What was going on? Look like you're finally awake, a voice said from behind him. The cat jumped with a start, getting to his feet as he noticed his paws were no longer blocky, but rounded. He was something else, just like the man before him. You did this? Stampy asked him, clenching and then unclenching his fist as he studied him in confusion. I only transported your mind into the game. The rest of you is fine. Probably fast asleep. The man mused with his mouth. I was tasked by a mysterious persona that remains to be named to fetch you. Fetch me? But why? Isn't there any other way you could have done this? The cat asked. How are you even possible? Well, you could say that I'm a descendant of a very ancient race that has been hidden in shadows and secret. You're a mythical hereby? Probably just us hiding in disguise. What do you mean? The cat demanded. When people accidentally see one of us, we choose to alter what they see. So they believe they see a blocky Steve with white glowing eyes. The man laughed. People are so easily fooled. You're saying that like you aren't what? The cat asked quizzically. I think you can help us, the man said matter-of-factly. But you must promise to keep us a secret. What about me? Will I stay like this? The cat asked worriedly. No, you'll return to your body, but when you wake up, it'll feel like a dream, the man replied. This is very real. A threat beyond your understanding. Something that could destroy a game as a whole. Like a virus? Stampy asked slowly. Worse than that, the man replied. The cat started to notice his vision starting to fade. Wait! I have so many questions I need to ask, Stampy declared. How are you talking to me? Why are you here? Who are you? What is going on? Well, human minds don't handle well in data, my friend, the man said slowly as he began to flicker, glitching slightly as purple and black texture began to consume him. You must return before you break the game completely. I shall see you soon, if you agree with our terms. But I don't even know what you want me to do, Stampy shouted. Same as all your friends are doing. Making videos, changing the world, staying away from the deep, dark truth that petty theories are trying to uncover. But shouldn't the truth be known if we want to fix it? The cat asked. You'll understand someday, Stampy, the man said, only as a voice now. His darkness consumed him as Stampy woke up on the floor of his office, Squishy over him, looking frantic with a phone to her ear. Oh, thank goodness you're okay, she said in relief. What happened? Stampy asked as he sat up, noting his chair had fallen to the side. I heard a loud noise in your office and came here to see if you were all right, she said quickly, putting away her phone. I couldn't wake you. I was about to call for help when you woke up. How are you feeling? Do you need anything? I'll be okay, he said quietly, puzzled, dazed, and calm. Surprisingly calm. The dream he had was certainly interesting. But was it really a dream? The man had said it was all real, but nothing about this was real. What was the man hiding from them that he was telling him not to look into it? Surely lots of theories tried to uncover the lore, but how could that be dangerous? Why would it destroy the game? Was it truly that bad? Or was the man overreacting? Or was he hiding something from all of them? About the secret ancient race? The true story of the game. The man was dead after all. And maybe something more. How could he even be sure the man could be trusted? Stay here, I'll get some water, Squishy said hurriedly, before the man could argue. Gone without a second trace, as the tricolor Corgi bounded up to him, wagging her tail excitedly. Such a good girl, Alex, you know that? Some young man said happily. The thoughts of what had occurred, strange and unusual otherwise, soon faded from his memory. He probably was just imagining things anyway. Nothing bad would happen. No one he would by his friends' family. Yeah, that's basically it. Basically the story. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah. I will see you in the next one. Whenever that might be. And if you do want to see more of this, be sure to let me know. Because it would be interesting to dive into this idea. We all know Matt Bassett is the main person behind this. It'd be interesting to get a cameo from him or something. And just me theorizing. Like, what do I want to see happen? Would this ancient race try to do something? No? I don't know what's gonna happen. But whatever happens, it's gonna be interesting. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I have an idea. But if nobody wants to see it, then it's not gonna happen. It's just gonna be a one-off thing. It's gonna be a test. See if people actually wanna dedicate a few videos to this story development. But if not, then don't worry about it. It's just a nice story. Yeah. Let's say if this video gets 20 likes, I'll do another one. But I probably won't. I would say maybe 100, but I don't get that many views, and not many people are interested in these sort of things. There's a more different story. Probably will get a different title, though. I don't know what it would be. If you have an idea of what the title would be, you can let me know. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm rambling, and you probably want to do other stuff. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, whatever that might be. Enjoy the rest of your browsing journey. Bye!